Welcome back. I put 3 coats of dishwasher safe Mod Podge on it, and we are going to clean the rim again. It is a lot easier to clean the rim as we go instead of leaving it till the end. So once again, going to run the X-Acto knife along the rim. Sorry about that arm. Okay. Then we're going to sand down. As the knife gets so much, then kind of have to sand the rest. And then I like to wipe down or wipe off all the grit that's in there from sanding. And then I feel okay. Then I'm going to sand this rim all the way around on the outside because we did the top. Top is cleared off. The inside, it's pretty much, it needs a little, but we can, it's not a lot, so we can leave that to the end. And just like for resin, you want to get a little rim of the stainless steel showing. So the Mod Podge can grasp I don't know if you can see how there's just the slightest rim. And I'm going to do one more coat of Mod Podge so it can grab onto that rim. I forgot to leave a little rim when I did the tape, and normally I don't do that step. I just do the 3 and then I move on, but I forgot to leave a little rim. The front, there is no issue. Mod Podge grabs onto it, but the tape was starting to peel, and that's because tape went all the way to the top. Where normally I flip it over like I did, and then normally I just go and I cut a little rim, but I forgot to do that. I just did the top part. So Mod Podge didn't grasp onto the tumbler. So we're going to do another coat. Ooh, I don't have a little rim here. And there you go. I have a little rim here. And even though the Mod Podge grabbed this, there's no issue. It's just for consistency. I'm going to I sand down to a little rim. As you can, don't know if you can see, there's a little rim there. And since you've seen me do the Mod Podge, I will come back when that is set and done. Okay, welcome back. I wanted to show you, I forgot to push play. So for the bottom, I just glued it down glitter called Cowboy from Fran's Glitter and More. And like I said, that store is not open anymore. Um, you can go to Mr. Knowles Glitter and they will have a glitter that's similar in the same color. And then I signed it. Always sign your work. And then I always do a little extra by putting the year that I made it. Okay, so now we are going to do the tumbler. And like it, since I have Mod Podge on here, so it's safe after 30 days. You can put it in the dishwasher. I could stop there, but I like to make my tumbler look like that there is resin on it. So I like to shine it up like resin does. So, and what will do that will be Grand Finale from the Crystalac company. But Grand Finale and Mod Podge do not get along. So, to seal the Mod Podge, I always use 2 coats of polyurethane. Sometimes I use 3. Okay, so since polyurethane is a water base, it is non-toxic, so I can touch it with my fingers. And there is a little shine to dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and polyurethane will add a little more shine to it. But what will really give it that shine is going to be the Crystalac, the Grand Finale from the Crystalac company. If you do not have a Grand Finale, they have Bright Tone also. That will work well. Before I discovered the Crystalac company, I used to just do the polyurethane on top. And I figured, oh, it's not going to get as... I did like 5 to 6 coats on the tumbler. And then it got really close, but you could tell that it wasn't resin, but it was really close. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what it's going to be. And then I discovered the Crystalac company. Okay, so everything is cloudy. So that's how you know that the polyurethane is on there and it's all covered. And it will dry clear. And do not forget to do your bottoms. Okay, and okay. Okay, so that is that. You have to give, I usually give polyurethane 3 hours to drive. I give it 3 hours to dry. You don't have to. Depending on the temperature of the day, it can dry within an hour. Um, and usually 2 hours definitely, because it's such a thin coat, it's definitely dry. But I'm extra, so I'm going to give it that little extra time that it really, and honestly, it really doesn't need, unless you're going to put like a thick coat. But I always do thin coats, because with polyurethane, if you do a thick coat, you have to, if you put too thick of a coat, it can turn yellow. And or if it's really really thick, it's going to be cloudy, and it can take a day or two before it totally dries, because the top will dry, but underneath is still wet, it's still cloudy, and you have to, like I said, I don't like to move on when it's cloudy, and then you have to give it a couple of days to totally dry, and then when it dries, it can be yellow. So I always do a thin coat of polyurethane. If I do a thick coat, because polyurethane does not self-level, I will get a torch, and I will torch it to get the air bubbles out, and it'll help level it out, because it'll make it a little more liquidy with the heat, and it will level out. It'll be a little more even. But if I just do thin coats, sorry about that, I don't know what that is for. But if I forgot what I was going to say. So, if I do thin coats, it'll dry clear, and it'll be fine, and you could just keep layering and layering and layering. It's just when I try to get lazy, and then I have to do more steps to prevent it from turning yellow and for taking days to dry. I will come back and I will show you how to apply the grand finale onto a tumbler after my second coat of polyurethane is dry. I'll be back.